who is getting lighter TV right now, not forgetting that is a happy Lent season concurrently for my dear Catholics right there. It's all about sports edition which is coming on your way right here at Lighter TV. The same faces are bounced back with that is UEFA Champions League night analysis right here with the usual that is a professional coach with me. There, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, actually.
I'm quite sure a lot of things, and the viewer who was keen enough in terms of following the prediction why there could be probably judging some of us outside there wrongly or else as far as the first night transport. We did see a lot of games on card before we cross it that way. We are going to touch some one or two things at that is local things before we cross it to the second league, or else probably the last night for the second league of UEFA Champions League round of 16 right there. To start it from home, USSA. Up to now, Koboko District has not yet proposed official date for verification and when these games will kick off. That is coming on their way. In one of the games that we did see on the Tupraka Football Club, we are crushed by KCCA by 5-0 in Stampik Uganda Cup to make their way to quarterfinals right there. After that, straight away focus will be all about the CAF. CAF is all about the Confederation of African Football Association that has decided, according to their appeal board, Morocco is now the defending African Cup of Nations. Amazing information that are coming as far as it is concerned behind there. Yes, dear. First thing is first, like Aaron that I did tell you, it's all about up to now. USSA Koboko branch has not yet come on board officially making a date, settling a date for USSA games. What could be happening?
Good evening, my co-host and the viewer outside there. Thank you for that brilliant question. Personally, I hate institutions that hide information from camera. We expected after actually the second football games, we expected the administration to come out and say something about the delays, because most of these neighbors have already kicked off. I think the way I'm seeing, before this month ends, these games must have started.
Yes, before this month ends. Yes, now looking at the administrative structure, so many people, although it is else the departed ways with the district department, how huge could that one be, having new people in the system and the old people leaving the system? How huge could that one be in terms of the gap which will be left by them?
That one's politics in football, which I may not really have much to comment. Changes are necessary. The best dancer is supposed to leave the stage for the others, but the truth is, new people are supposed to come with good new things actually. If it used to be a tradition that Koboko delays, but I expected something better this time.
Okay. Now narrow it to your own analysis and your all, let me say, broader impact as far as a school's preparation. I'm quite sure one or two schools, most schools are already with parental matters. We did see the other time Nyarlo hosted, Rua SS, Upol also hosted, you've seen a secondary school, I mean Koboko Public. And then St. Charles Sulanga traveled away from Koboko to play, that is St. Joseph's College Ombachi. Coaches were at home to welcome all level seeds today, not forgetting also Arua SS the other time. Schools are for parentals. How far have you seen in terms of preparations to usher it into aspect of level of competitiveness as far as this year is concerned?
The last time I saw a team serious preparing as a team from Koboko's Young Laces when they went up to was it Nairobi? I think it was it Kenya? I think Kenya.
Yeah.
That is the last time when we had a good side, when Nyanglia took it as a business and took it as an enterprise.
Yeah.
But since those days up to now, I've not seen. Instead, schools are deteriorating every day.
Yeah, schools are deteriorating every day. The words are coming from. Perhaps before we let it go like that, I'm quite sure as an individual, as a person in that is a football fraternity in sports, you will have some inputs, your personal input that you think has to be taken.
If you want to level competition, like at national level, we need to copy the right things let's copy the good things that other regions are doing. First of all, we are here thinking about when these games will start. I'll tell you, regions like Kampala, they're talking about now waiting for regionals.
Yeah.
Kono, you see centers competing, but for us here, we are here to play the first game. Right from the organizers at district level, even schools. My personal expectation is me as an employee of Koboko Public Secondary School. I expected if we really needed to take football as a business and at secondary level, let these schools copy. Let us have permanent coaches employed. You are talking about level of competition here.
Yeah.
We usually in a period of 3 weeks, 1 month to train. And I can tell you, I had an opportunity to interact with some Italian coaches when ACAV had a tournament in 2019. It was called Sampdoria. We had Italian coaches. One was called Marcos. We interacted with them. I had a question for one of them that how do they see football in our community here? They said when they reached Uganda, they realized there were very many competitions. Meanwhile, in Italy, for a coach to ask for a friendly, it must take this coach at least 4 years. You need to prepare this team for about 4 years before you ask for a game to be played. But we're here putting young players on pressure. We want a trophy just within 2 weeks, within a month. So I request, if schools really want to level competition at national level, let us prepare early. How much will it cost a school like St. Charles Longa to get a coach employed permanently as a staff, where football will be trained from January to December? Even for players who keep around, who are Koboko based, could get access to these coaches. It means we'll be talking about building a good side. That's where we can talk about competition. But this issue of having 3 days, 3 weeks, a month period, then you expect a team to deliver, the time is not enough.
Yeah,
we need to style up.
Yeah, the time is not enough. Those are his personal inputs as far as the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association ball games are concerned, which are common called post-primary ball games right there. Now narrowing focus to Uganda, Stambik Uganda Cup, the 52nd edition DDC games were played on card. The most amazing and my point of focus is the game between Ontupraka Football Club and that is KCCA. If you look at Ontupraka, they were the only remaining team of West Nile, the whole of West Nile region in Stambik Uganda Cup. But yesterday was the exit stage for them after when they were beaten by KCCA by 5-0. First goal being scored by West Nile-based player Emmanuel, that is Anyama Emmanuel. Could it be something that if Ontupraka had utilized chances maximally, we would have seen them proceeding far? What went wrong to your own anticipation?
I'm not surprised. First of all, when you mentioned Ontupraka of today and Ontupraka of those days, the best Ontupraka that we had in this region, when we had Kermet Sakas, Mohamed Sapans, Rasida Girls, the terminating the field and Ninis, the best days of Gaddafi Gadino, Gaddafi Wahab.
Yeah.
That best side lost at some point, was it 7-0, 7-1 to KC? Now, Ontupraka that is struggling in the big league. I'm not surprised with that scoreline. It's an unexpected result.
Yeah, if I can remember, the scoreline, in fact, the score you summoned here was also the score that took the team up to finals where they lost to, that is Vipers by a goal to nil right there. So they were yesterday finally eliminated from Stambik Uganda Cup. Now their next game at home, in fact, their next game shall be against Wakiso Giants in the Football Big League. We did see them winning against Karo Karunji by a goal to nil at Ababet Gurnight Stadium. What should Ontupraka do first of all to survive relegation? Currently, they are in red zone.
Ontupraka's problems are more than the solutions that are around the team. I remember when players started leaving, it was something to do with the administration. One thing that clubs are failing to understand is that I always talk to people about this. We seem to see Ontupraka as something that belongs to the region, the community of West Nile region. But when you get deeper to understand what a community club is, Ontupraka does not give a sense to a community club.
Okay.
Yeah. So it goes back to the ownership. At least KCA, it is Kampala City Authority. When it comes to Maroons, it's the prisons, UPDF, you know, those things.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to, let's compare Vipers. Vipers is solely owned by Rogers Mulindo.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Now, with Nduparaka is being confused between a community club and sole ownership.
Exactly.
If that one is not differentiated, the two things are not meant to be understood by the community. Nduparaka will continue to fall.
If you look at it on the Paraka station, they were officially declared as that is when Benjamin Nyakunu, who was the club president, left the club became as that is a community club. We did see people moving around trying to do lobbying for the club. Perhaps before I let you go, as far as this season is concerned, I'm quite sure you are aware on the Paraka gave trials for players where up to is 55, even more than 55 players went for trials. Could it be lack of summoning experience, or else the coaching department, the board of Onduparaka made an error of not identifying the rightful players? Could it be that cause, or it is more of like any financial aspect? We know football without the finance can't be into expectation, or else you can't deliver, you can't achieve what you want without the finance cases right there. Because players feeding, wherever players need something at the end of the game. Also, at the same time, these are players who have families, they need to support their family. Equal when they are giving for the club also need to give for them. Then issues of transportation. We did see some cases, some periods back, the club traveled with only one kit, the whole club having only one kit, which is the green kit, and reaching to play Katita in their home ground. Katita had to reject because their home pitch, in fact, their home kit is also green. So a lot of things are transparent for the club right there. Could it be aspect of managerial, or what has to be done according to all perspectives?
Even Bangre registers, Rima hosters, Longra hosters can't do that. Traveling to an away game without with a set of jersey. It's very unfortunate. You're talking about having over 50 players to be tried. Those are things that I would expect to be done by secondary schools. This time, it's if you want, the way I said, if you want to level competition, go for the best. It's a national competition. You can't. I am quite sure they didn't even invite players to be tried across the whole country. Okay. It might be something, maybe Arua based. How many players left Koboko for the trial? I saw Gato went, and the history of transfer was not clear last season. You'll just know that. And I told you, football is about money. Yeah. People have seen money in football. Actually, through the Paraka, you recently saw Mohamed Saban banking how much? 240 million. Yeah. Just to put pen on paper into his pockets. Now, why do you want allow somebody who comes after Mohamed Saban to just go and play for a bottle of water? And he sometimes struggles to get back to home, to the family. Now,
perhaps to speak about some few names who made it for the trials, and at the end of it all, the club didn't acquire their substance. One is the current left back of Pakwachi Youngsters, that is Rotomio, who is Don Sat number 47, was one of the guys who was there in the trials. And if you look at his performances currently in regional league, you'll definitely know under Caesar Samson Okuti, this is someone who will deliver for the club into expectation. Away from that, you speak about that is Mandela, the former captain, that defender of team Araka Football Club, was also there into the team. Even Moses Abiti of Adamachako, who is keenly known, not leaving out players like that is common called Declan Rice of that is Okokoro, the likes of Bruno Common and Okokoro were all into the trials, and these are guys who are currently having the high flying flight in regional league currently. Could it be such kind of players being into the services of Onduparaka? We'll have seen the club delivering, or else club having some aspects. Yes, a viewer that has been all about Onduparaka's story, but we are telling you here, Onduparaka are lying currently in red zone, not forgetting that is being injected yesterday in Stambik Uganda Cup by KCC 5-0.
Maybe before you cross to another story, if a team is financially struggling, the only shortcut to performance is supposed to be getting local based players. Yeah. You've mentioned the farthest place is Pakwachi. And I will tell you that team that has been led by Samson Sizokoti, to me, must be more organized than Team Onduparaka for now. So if you fail to get services of players that are playing a lower league, definitely we don't expect good things coming this time, and even the number of following has dropped. And I usually tell people, our people of West Nile like good things.
Yeah.
I also tell people why Koboko is failing to, teams are failing to catch eyes of Koboko people is the Senke days are not seeing the current teams that we're trying to push. At least when you talk about community club, Mbati Pride is trying to come up with certain things. But if a team will not level that competition of Senke, automatically football is going to be history in Koboko and even West Nile, with the stories of Antuparaka living, the famous Arua Hills are now normal. It's not easy.
Yes, viewer, that is the story as far as it is concerned, right? They are taking it straight away at a continental level. A CAF, a Confederation of African Football, have declared the 2025 African Cup of Nations champions to be Morocco. Remember, the final was played in January, that is Rabat, the capital city of Morocco. Now, Morocco, we did see the center referee in that game from Congo, Congolese-based referee, when it is coming towards the dying minutes, did award a penalty for that is Morocco, and the players of a team that is Senegal went for a protest. All the players left the pitch, others went to the dressing room, and a former Liverpool star guy that is Sadio Mane remained there in the picture, kept motivating the players. He called the players back to come in aim of protest, and not for that is forfeiting right there. And the full-timer, after Ibrahim Diaz failing to utilize the penalty back of the net, being denied opportunities by Eduardo Mendy, former Chelsea goalkeeper there. So the 90th minute ended 0-0. Now they had to go for extra time. In the fourth additional extra time, we did see Tima, that is the player in the names of Sarr, scoring for Tima, that is Senegal, to make it 1-0. And Senegal, on that very day, were crowned champions of Total Energies African Cup of Nations 2025. And the Federation of Moroccan Football Association wrote appeal to that is CAF concerning the issue of Article 84 and Article 82 respectively, right there, requiring, in fact, appealing that Team Senegal were already into aspect of forfeiting the game because they left. Meanwhile, Senegal were for protest, and because of the disciplinary, yesterday, we did see the CAF board coming on board with the open statement declaring it here that the appeal launched in respect of Mr. Ismail Sabir, player number 11 of that is the Morocco national team, is personally upheld. The CAF appeal board confirmed the finding that Mr. Ismail Sabir is committed with article of that is 82. Remember, this is the person who is behind the aspect of writing the appeal of Morocco to CAF right there. His appeal is taken into consideration under the code of that is 82. Have a post on him is all about going to take it, and with the fund which are to go as Senegalese team had started acquiring it right there. Remember, Senegal, for those instances that happened, were charged, some fines were on Senegal. We have US dollar 100, then with a lot of things which are on, impacted in the side of Senegal. And CAF coming to change things around, Morocco being declared the champions. Is it a rightful decision according to you?
One thing, I have friends in football within Koboko here and even where I stay. That night when Senegal played Morocco, it was as if Spain was playing Senegal. You know, with our dark skin, people had to have a shortcut to Senegal to support.
Yeah.
But that night I was not happy as a follower of football. If I had something to be given out, I would really give it to Sadio Mane. And before you interest yourself in any game, first interest yourself in understanding the laws of that particular game. Like where guys stay, if you want to play cards, you need to know which style are they playing. Is it pick 2? It's what? There are those things of pick 4, people go up to pick 8. So now, if you want to enjoy football, you need to understand and interest yourself in understanding football. I had a shortcut that to blame the center referee.
Yeah.
One thing that I expected out of him was the head coach of Senegal had instructed the entire team to leave the pitch.
Yes.
In protest to abandon that game, which he did not do. And after Sadio Mane insisting that let these players come back, remember, before a player leaves the pitch, it's supposed to be on permission of the center referee.
Yeah.
We expected the entire team, the set of players who left the pitch, to be cautioned. The ones who had yellow cards to be sent away before the restart of that match. Now I have a problem with CAF. There are three things. Football, once football is started, there are three things that are supposed to happen. In case there's an interruption, the match is abandoned. Whether it's a weather issue, it's the death of a player, that's when the game can be finished. If it's hooliganism issue, that's when the game can be finished on table.
Yeah.
Actually, came up with this idea after having a long debate with somebody who understands football and the laws. So we expected this center referee to either abandon, but he failed to abandon the game, allowed this game to go on. That one will only happen in a village football. And even the coach, I remember when I did my beginner's course, they said the worst thing that a coach can do to a team is to make the team not to play. Not even allowing them to start and then you abandon the game. Like if I have a fixer, like let's say Koboko Public is supposed to play St. Charles Luanga on Friday, but suddenly by around Thursday I will say my players are not playing this game of no reasons because of my interest. That one you're doing, it's not fair. It's not friendly to football. So we expected before CAF comes in, first of all, the result of the game is supposed to be determined by the center referee. The whole world knew that it ended 1-0 in favor of Senegal, and they were crowned as champions, which business is supposed to be finished on table. And to me, if I am to really penalize, I blame the center referee for that, the courts, and even CAF this time they're coming. The good thing is CAF is under FIFA.
Yeah.
Good enough. Senegal is going ahead. Sadio Mane is a very serious influence in the game of football within Africa. He has already talked about this. I think FIFA is going to get him.
Yeah. Coach Majid, there's one thing here people are failing to understand, and to my own anticipation, Morocco wrote appeal to that CAF because they thought Senegal going out is already far-fetching, I think. Meaning that there's difference between that is a protesting or else a protest, and that is a far-fetching. Far-fetching is like when someone is going saying that, for me, I am going out, I am not coming back for this game. Meanwhile, someone is protesting for something just for a moment, then he comes back. Then their punishments, which articles are there. The article 84 clearly speaks, even 82 clearly speaks about when someone is for protest, the punishments are all about what? Fundings, which even CAF did, where you'll find some individuals are fined, you'll find even the whole national team is fined, and the head coach who in place all the players of Senegal is fined, and that is what CAF did. And proceeding again also coming to aspect of taking Morocco's appeal into consideration, like considering it as a forfeit, because a forfeit, if Morocco, in fact Senegal, would have said, for them they are not coming back for this game, that is where their punishment of saying, when someone denies a game without a proper decision, in Center Paris has authority to blow the final whistle, and in his report write it there. Such a team refused to finish the game because of ABCD reason. Therefore, his decision will also be there. They lost the game by prophetizing that. So that is the thing, the aspect of blaming the center referee will now come here. This is the thing that the center referee did not do, and even allowed, like how you made it, he allowed the game to resume also. Even gave the penalty until Ibrahim Diaz missed it out there. So that is where the whole controversy has come there. Now the most amazing thing is that when they are trying to interview BBC Sports, they say the currently winning prize, the whole world knew Senegal are the champions. Then the winning prize is already given to Senegal. Senegal call players from different clubs, and this money, a part of it is already given for the players. Let's assume players have already consumed it already. And the medals are already given. Every player posted themselves on media with the medals already. How will these things be collected back? That is also...
I thought it was a nightmare for Africa only that night, but the nightmare has continued up to this time. CAF coming in to make mistakes. It comes back to the level of competition and the kind of games that we're having in Africa. We are really behind in everything when you compare it to Europe. And it's very unfortunate. I don't know how the whole story is going to end, but to me, a bit somehow Morocco is protected.
Yeah.
Morocco is protected, and the referee, the whole thing is really, that center referee is an employee of CAF.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing is, much as we talk about blames to referees, we have 17, football has got 17 laws.
Yeah.
But this 18th one, we normally say it's the referee's opinion.
Exactly.
As I said, the scoreline is very clear, the game was finished. There was no need for CAF to really come and go and finish the game on table.
Exactly.
Let's first leave it to CAF and FIFA to wait for that bill.
I think about, look at the statement that the FIFA has declared. In fact, the CAF has declared. The CAF Appeal Board decided that in application of Article 84 of the regulations of CAF, African Cup of Nations, AFCON, the Senegal national team is declared to have forfeited the game. Yet, that is where the aspect of understanding, forfeiting, and protesting. For Senegal, they were for protest. Meanwhile, FIFA, in fact, the CAF had taken it as an aspect of forfeiting the game, of which the final match of the total African Cup of Nations, Morocco, is the champions with a 3-0 difference. Now look at this. They went up to extra time.
Another controversy is that somebody who didn't watch that game will wake up in the morning and find that the scoreline between Morocco and Senegal was 1-0. It means the referee's report indicated that the game was completed.
Yeah.
Just the way I said, let us first leave it to FIFA and we see what is going to transpire out of all this.
I really want to get any concern to that is Morocco, in fact, the Senegal national team, a statement which is made by their president, the president for Senegalese Football Association. He made it open. Returning, yes, they have pronounced the trophy in Morocco as the champions by CAF fine, according to their continental board, yes. Then returning of the trophy, the winning prize, the medals will depend on that is FIFA's ruling, which will be down in Switzerland, where the headquarters of FIFA are located. Now, could it be like Morocco going, like not returning, in not Morocco, Senegal going on board, all the players, the national team of Senegal rejecting, they are not returning those things. Are we seeing new has been made for Morocco?
I remember mentioning that Morocco is protected. No, it's not Morocco, it's Senegal.
Yeah.
Senegal is a bit protected by these laws. Like we are saying, this center referee who went ahead, just like delegation, for us we say once you delegated a mistake that is being like, if there's a task that I'm supposed to really perform, then I assign you to take it over. It's the story between CAF and the center referee.
Yeah.
What CAF is looking at is that we expected if the referee abandoned this game, it was going to be a business of finishing it on table. Just like here, Bamures the fans will fight. Nyais have ever fought referees in Nyarlo. We say the game has ended 3-0 to Superstars. We have ever done this.
Exactly.
On condition that the game has not. It depends on the referee's report. And this referee reported that this game ended well. Why should they go ahead? After even awarding, why should they go ahead and say?
And remember, the most contradicting part is, remember, this is the center referee who refused the impact, who takes it long to second Vieira's decision. If the center referee, the Senegalese, in fact, the Congolese-based referee, they agreed to go for video assistant referee, would have been taken into consideration.
Not to cut you short, actually, before even the appeal for penalty by Morocco's team, it came shortly after a disallowed goal, which to Senegalese players it was unfair disallowed, you remember?
Yeah.
So two things happened, I think, in a period of a minute. So that is, I think, the whole thing that broke the team.
Yeah. So, viewer, we are still waiting for what will come from CAF right there as far as the decision of declaring that is Morocco being the champions with the 3-0 win. I imagine, you imagine it outside there, someone winning 1-0 and the scoreline is turned to that is a force impact 3-0. How contradicting the whole thing will be just
unfortunately after 90 days.
Yeah, unfortunately after 90 days,
yeah,
right there. So we are taking the focus to the that is UEFA Champions League, which games are coming on your way tonight. Before we take it to UEFA Champions League, one game is already on card, that is in UEFA Europa League, where Braga of that is Portugal are 4-0 winners over that is Fenerbahce of that is yeah, by 4 goals. Something so nice and huge for them right there.
Yeah, Portuguese teams are proving. I remember I made a statement yesterday that plenty were going to prove us wrong, but they surprised us.
Yeah.
That scoreline reminds me of last night's scoreline against Bodo.
Yeah. Yeah, now taking before we go into tonight's games, looking at the comprehensive results of the games which are played in UEFA Champions League, we did see team Chelsea were beaten by 3-0 at Stamford Bridge by that is a team PSG to make it in that is a 82 aggregate right there. Meanwhile, a team Manchester City were beaten at home by team that is Real Madrid by 2-1. Vinicius Junior's goals happens to be the difference. 2 players eliminating team Manchester City. Derek Belvarde's hat-trick in halftime in the first league, not forgetting that is Vinicius Junior's brace in yesterday's game right there to make it that is 5-1 in aggregate for team Real Madrid. Not forgetting a team Arsenal were 2-0 winners over Bayer Leverkusen at Emirates Stadium that happens to be the different right there in none of the games which was played. That is the game between Bodo Clint and that is Sporting Lisbon. It ended 3-0 in the normal 90 minutes before them going for that is extra minutes to make it 5-0 to proceed in quarterfinals by aggregate of 5-2 right there. Before we proceed to today's games, your comprehensive comments as far as all those games are concerned. First is Man City and Real Madrid game.
Manchester City Real Madrid game. That's why I'm putting on black. I am mourning. We exited. Many people are saying is Real Madrid only for Manchester City. We have seen for the last 4 years it has been a business between Real Madrid and Manchester City, and whenever these two teams meet, it's not an easy test to playing 70 minutes without actually a man down. We are saying yesterday that we are going to, if it was not going to make us eject Real Madrid, the worst for us was going to be a win. That's why you saw Real Madrid getting a late winner goal through Vinicius Junior.
Yeah.
But it was a deserved win.
Yeah, it was a deserved win, and maybe crossing to before crossing to today's games or else tonight's games, Chelsea and the PSG game.
It was expected. This is something that we concluded yesterday. But Celia, he actually
do it again for team that is
proved us actually in the earliest minutes.
Yes, yes. Remember this game between Chelsea and that is a PSG brought for you 2 champions. That is a World Club champion Chelsea passing that is the European champion. Yeah, that is a PSG yesterday night right there. It was done and dusted deal for team that is a PSG. Meanwhile, crossing over to tonight's games. We shall be seeing some few minutes to go, just like less than 8 minutes to go. We shall be seeing at Spain, we shall be seeing Barcelona welcoming a team that is Newcastle Football Club. What is that take on this?
Maybe before I have a comment on that cracker from Ebenezer Eze.
Yeah,
I need to have a mention about it.
Exactly.
It was really a cracker, and those are some of the goals that are supposed to really talk about the value of a player. Now coming back to Newcastle United and Barcelona business. It's going to be the third time within a few days that these two teams are meeting. And Newcastle has last week. And if you look at the performance of Newcastle, I think for me, as the type of football that Newcastle plays in the midfield, having chances of starting Jolinton alongside Tonali, I think it's going to be a very long night for Team Barcelona. I don't want to rule out Newcastle United.
Yes, before we proceed, perhaps having a look at the starting lineups for either side tonight. The Barcelona, they have gone in for that is a 4-2-3-1 formation. Between the sticks that they have, that is Jay Garcia, supported in the 4-back line right there. To the right, that is Eric Garcia, that is Kupasi, not forgetting Martin and Yao Cancelo, former Manchester City, completing the back line right there. The two players are sitting ahead of the defensive line include Pedri and that is Banela, being supported up front is that is Fabian Lopez, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal all playing behind that is Robert Lewandowski right there. Having a look at this squad here, that had Rafinha, Lopez being introduced compared to the first team. Could it be a change for team that is Barcelona at this particular time?
One thing is my good friend Robert Lewandowski, the policeman. I think age is catching up with him. I last saw him scoring in Feb, and being a determining match. Let me hope he's going to give his best. And if you look knockout stages that Newcastle United played with Barcelona, Bruno Guimaraes came out and said playing Barcelona midfield was not easy. They chased a lot of it. I think this is what they are planning to do.
Yeah, I think
having Pedri in the midfield, I think it's not going to be an easy thing. A fight between Pedri, Jolinton, and actually Tonali, it's not going to be an easy night.
Yeah, I think having a look at the starting lineup of team Newcastle, they have gone in for traditional formation in England, that is 4-3-3. In between the sticks, that is Ramsdale, supported to the right, that is Kieran Trippier, and then that is Theo, not forgetting Ban and Hall completing the defensive line. Up front in the midfield, they have Ramsey, former Aston Villa guy, who have Sandro Tonali and Jolinton in the midfield. One key guy is back into the starting squad. That is Anton Gordon in number 9 position. Supported to the right is by that is Anton Elanga. Completing the squad is that is Harvey Barnes right there. Are you seeing a threat coming in the defensive line of Team Barcelona as far as this attacking force of Newcastle, who are having the pace, who can run, who can hold the ball for a long period of time, even going for muscle, they can make it for you. Barnes, Gordon, and Elanga.
I enjoy Gordon when he's played from flanks. You know, he's a comfort after the departure of Isak.
Yeah.
And having a goal against Barcelona in the first leg, expect him to be managed well this time. It's not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be an easy ride with this attack. But Elanga with his runs, it's not going to be an easy night there, I said.
Yeah, if you look
I'm not rolling out Newcastle United in this game.
Yeah, if you look at the game which is coming on your way between Newcastle and that is Barcelona, the guys who are going to be available as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. You speak about that is not Jolinton, but rather Trippier, the captain of team Newcastle. He has so far played UEFA Champions League with a series of teams. You speak about Tottenham Hotspur, a lot of teams in England. Not forgetting in the side of that is Barcelona. You speak about Robert Lewandowski. Can't be compared to any other Barcelona player.
One of the senior players in the world this time,
yeah.
37-year-old. I think he's very senior, and anything in the box is a messiah when it comes to handling business in the box.
Yeah. So that is the game between that is the team Barcelona and Newcastle Football Club. Meanwhile, Atletico de Madrid tonight are traveling away. They are already at that is Tottenham Stadium in England to play Tottenham Hotspur. The first leg of this game did end 5-2, and tonight they are in England.
I talked about Arteta thinking about English Premier League. Tottenham is suffering the same. They are struggling to survive relegation. And looking at the scoreline in the first leg, expect nothing but Atletico Madrid going past this team.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid going past that is
with the Brazilian, this guy, the stubborn guy. Who is it? This guy with the tinted hair.
Brazilian,
This attacker.
Okay, yeah. I love him when they played, that is in their playoffs, when they eliminated Atletico eliminated in the playoffs of UEFA Champions League. Look at that killer pass he had. It shows for you the ability of a complete player who is right there. Meanwhile, for Team Tottenham Hotspur, they still have Bentancur out injured, Romero who is out injured, the captain, we have Kulusevski who is still out injured, and I'm not forgetting Mohamed Kudus who is out injured, Oduga, their first choice left back out, Balguel out injured, that is Odegaard out, Madison, the senior guy is out, to have Parfina out, Dub is out. This is going to show for you a lot of struggling side that Tottenham will be as far as the Atletico Madrid is concerned.
Spurs has more players in the hospital than the ones that are given to the coach to be selected. And this explains their performance in the league and even outside, like in the European night. I don't see them giving really a running nose to Team Atletico Madrid, though it's going to be played from England.
Yeah. Now, in one of the interesting games is the game between that is a team Liverpool Football Club and Galatasaray. Right there, if you look at this game, the first leg of this game did end 1-0 in favor of that is Galatasaray. So, are we seeing comeback from Team Liverpool?
It's not going to be an easy night. Liverpool failed to get goals against a struggling side, that's Tottenham Hotspur. But when you look at Galatasaray, their last game in the domestic league, they won against Başakşehir. That was a very clear win, that it was 3-0. And maintaining a 1-0 win against a big side like Team Liverpool, it means this is a side that is prepared for this game. Should they get an early goal, it will be a very big task to Team Liverpool. But Liverpool, just like I used to tell my friends, if England teams are called for UEFA Champions League meeting, it is Liverpool that we give the task of taking us as a driver. Before Liverpool speaks, no team will speak in England. They are known of turning stories. Remember the 4-0 win at Bernabeu was turned at Anfield.
Yeah.
So the 1-0 win by the Turkish side is not going to be a big business.
So
but before I may conclude that way, the side that went against to turn the 4-0 win was Jurgen Klopp's side. But this struggling Liverpool that failed to win the last game in the league against a struggling side that is Team Tottenham, maybe you'll never walk alone at Anfield will be the only thing. But otherwise, Arne Slot has made Liverpool to be a very struggling side.
Yeah, now if you look at the team of that is Liverpool, you will definitely know that a lot of things are transpiring as far as this team is concerned. And Slot seems to be not understanding something when it comes to making decisions. Because most European coaches, most experienced coaches, when they are coming to do substitutions, they always come close to their coaching department. If not the first assistant, second assistant, or even the entire coaching department, they have some talks there. And that is something from look of things that even you can have it in front of the pavilion, in front of the fans right there. And it's not always makes his personal decisions. Could it be the same thing where he messes up with the starting lineup and coming to rebuild things? We are seeing things that are done and dusted. Looking at the midfield of team Galatasaray, they have English Premier League players who want to understand the flow of English football. You speak about Eke Gundogan is there. You speak about a former Arsenal guy. This is Torreira is there. Also Leroy Sané. These guys these are guys who understood the English football to expectation. Are we seeing Liverpool being overturned before? In fact, in 30 seconds, if you have to be Ancelotti, how will your starting lineup look like with the available players who have Bradley who is out injured, Endo who is out injured, perhaps the players who are in the starting squad?
To me, Ancelotti, I think he's been given a job that is not to his level. Remember, he surprised the English teams with what was left by Jurgen Klopp.
Exactly.
And a coach who fails to identify his own players. You can't spend a lot of time, remember his transfers, those of Isak, that failed to deliver words. So, failing to have a team, why should he trust the coaching team? If he believes in himself alone, look at what Pep was doing when we played in West Ham. He was suspended, but he was on phone with the assistant coach.
Exactly.
Every minute you will see him on phone.
Yeah.
It's about teamwork. even up to here at my level, I can't allow myself to make decisions alone.
Okay.
And it's normally said by people who understand the team. You can't handle a team as a person. It's about consultations. So Liverpool never needed to actually struggle against a Galatasaray side. But let's give it.
Yes, 90 minutes is the determination as far as the Anfield's battle tonight is concerned right there. Already 3 minutes played between Newcastle and that is started at 45 minutes exactly past the hour of that is at 8 p.m. right there. Last game tonight is the game between perhaps in 2 minutes time. Last game is the game between that is Atlanta and Bayern Munich. Everything seems to be done and dusted for Bayern Munich. 6-1 win away from home.
Free flowing football. Barcelona Hurricane is on fire. With the scoreline of first leg.
If you look at that game in the first leg, Hurricane wasn't in the starting squad, but rather the Senegalese best guy, that is Nicholas Jackson, the player who is on loan currently from Stamford Bridge at that is Bayern Munich, was into the score sheets. Different players coming to score. You speak about Gnabry, Olise, you speak about Nicholas Jackson, not forgetting also Jamal Musiala, who was introduced and he ended up registering his name into score sheets.
Bayern, there's one thing I'm interested in Bayern. Let Bayern continue to really understand the league, especially the Champions League. I am having a big eye on Vincent Kompany. I look at him as an OB, just like what other teams are doing. Michael Carrick for Manchester United, Mikel Arteta for Arsenal. I expect one day Vincent Kompany to come and replace Pep. So it's going to be an easy night for Team Bayern Munich.
That is already a verdict from patriotic citizens right there. For those of you who doesn't know, this is Coach Majid who has been with me here. It is done and that as far as today's edition is concerned. Before we take everything done right here, you are the parting words for the viewer who is getting United TV in all the places.
One day added for Eid, we are celebrating Eid on Friday. My friend was making a joke that we know that it's a Lent period. People already, non-Muslims are not going to eat meat on Friday, but we welcome them. It is on Friday.
Yes, sir. Viewer, official Coach Majid is breaking his fasting. That is on Friday with Eid celebrations right there. After here, Lighter TV, with the viewer of Lighter TV, we are all heading to Coach Majid right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Viewer, we are out from here. You should not forget to subscribe to that is the YouTube channels of Lighter TV. And for any ad, for any business concerning Lighter TV, just come at the stations or else you call the contact which is right there for more information. Just away from the Koboko main roundabout, opposite Kausar Mosque, the biggest mosque in Koboko district here, not forgetting Koboko town also, and it is just opposite, in fact along Koboko sorry, not Arua but rather Yumbe Moyo Highway right here. We are out from here. You should not forget on Friday, Eid Day, we are bringing for you the Eid worship prayer live, and on Saturday, all the roads are heading to Padrombo for West Nile Debate Championship, which shall be live broadcasted for you at Lighter TV. Get the facts, like your world.